This is your daily market recap for Tuesday, April 12th, 2022. Let's go. This is Dan Max at EXP Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is my stock, Bitcoin, gold, and silver daily market recaps. Please subscribe if you like what you see. Thank you. This is Dan Max at EXP Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for Tuesday, April 12th, 2022. Hope you're having a great day. As always, we start off in the Discord room. And if you're around this morning, you nailed some awesome trades. I think people are starting to realize that the market is kind of in this choppy, sloppy zone that you, again, beware of the liquidation break. That's all I'm saying. I think people are going to start to realize that the markets need to get slammed so the feds don't price in the rate hikes, and I think that's coming. So we shall. Again, if you're newer to the channel, check out the side rooms. I'm telling you, there's tons of information. A lot of people have questions, and I guarantee it's in the Back to Basics or on this YouTube channel. Jesse Livermore knowledge, volume price analysis, education, rules. I mean, there's tons of stuff going on. I always post the trades as I see things happening. Ton here to learn. It's good. A lot of newer people coming in. I feel like hopefully they're picking up some of these tidbits and learning quickly. Like, that's the goal. The goal isn't to come into trading and just flounder and struggle. And if you get lucky, lose it all. Or if you're not running well, you just fail. It's like, we're here to help or try to. Keep in mind here, Twitter. Also have the Twitter feed. Also drop in charts. And on that note, let's get into Bitcoin, because I feel that I am validated that, what did I say? This indecision with no volume was going to be an issue. Now, a lot of people who trade Bitcoin, at times can be a little emotional. I mean, I'm guilty of it as well. Like, I love gold. Like, I love gold for many reasons. But I know there's times when it's acting like crap, and I have to admit to myself it's wrong, or going down, or going higher without me, whatever you want to call it. This action was overdue. Bounce, double top. This is a bull trap. I tell people, when you trap, when you move in a certain direction and you don't follow through and you have light volume, that is light conviction. And we talked about, end of March, early April, like, guys, keep an eye on this, because if it gets back under 45,000, it could come back down to 35,000. Could it ultimately drop back down to support here from June, July area, down at 30? That has to be in your mind. You just can't be at Uber Bowl all the time. On that note, let's get into, speaking of being wrong sometimes, the TLT. We are coming into support. Well, I guess you can. It's like, no, it's not, Dan. Here, hold on. Here it is on the monthly. I mean, it's possible we could go lower. Picking bottoms is tough. I would be aware that one of the things that you're always going to notice, and keep this in mind, is that there's a lot of times stocks top during OPEX or first or last of the month, last 3 days of the month. Why? Because sometimes that's when the biggest fund flows move in to close out positions or to establish positions. And the market maker knows big money can be stupid too. Trading is one of those things where everyone's an equal opportunity loser to the market. Keep that in mind. No one is immune. I'm not immune. We've talked about this riding the lightning. Well, guess what? Is this a novice gap? I know the action's bearish. It's red, right? But look at the 2-day range. Keep that in the back of your mind. Like, watch this 2-day range, because I'm going to do this on the fly. And I know TLT is like really known for this kind of crap. Here was a 2-day range bottom, 2-day range bottom. Here, you kind of gap down. You have 2-day ranges, you have multi-day ranges sometimes here. This was just a gap and trap. Multi-day range. That's sometimes the first step. Now, again, I've all my shares I'm out of, but I do have some long-dated calls and sold some long-dated puts, because I do anticipate the Feds have to get this market to calm down on the interest rates, because ultimately what has happened is the market is priced in multiple rate hikes. I mean, we went from on the 10-year from 1.2 to 2.8. That's a lot of rate hikes. I don't know if the Feds are actually going to do it, but the market's going to test them. And ultimately, I think money will move out of the markets and into the bond market. And that's what they want. They don't want higher interest rates. People need to realize that. cannot afford a fiscal deficit with higher rates. The dollar, you know, Ukraine, Russia, the shit's not going away. Ukraine or Russia's like, guys, we're not giving up yet. Channel high on the dollar, keep that in mind. Watch that, because if it breaks out and goes bonkers, we're in this zone where if it gets over 27s, could the dollar actually, dollar milkshake? If you're not familiar with the dollar milkshake theory, it's interesting. I'd Google it. Our theory is based on the destruction of debt. When the debt is destroyed, it needs to be liquidated into something. And if the global currency is the dollar, when debt is being liquidated, people are transferring their, you know, they're trying to get capital in the dollar. So when debt is destroyed or sold at pennies on the dollar, whatever you want to call it, debt is being liquidated, they're going to need dollars to execute the sale, unless it's another casino or another currency. Casino, technically, yes. Keep that in mind. That's an interesting theory. I mean, smart people have come up with it, but also smart people will be wrong, because again, if every economist was really smart, and they would trade the market and be badasses, but they're not. The VIX, it is holding the 20-day. Red alert. Talked about this. Well, maybe I didn't post it. I apologize I didn't. It's like, watch the 20-day. I mean, it's the same thing with the like the SPY. Like, we were watching for the 20-day, 200-day. Now again, I apologize if I didn't specify that, but again, I always tell people, if you're watching the markets and you're not watching the VIX, you got to put that on a side screen to watch. Remember, I have tons of monitors a reason, and this is one of the things I'm always watching in the background. 20-day held. SPY. What did we say yesterday? Do not try to pick in front of the CPI. It could gap down and trap. It's also news. Well, if you tried to short before the news, you got stuck and you got fucked. And this is me talking to newer people, to be honest. However, we talked about the same thing you'll see with the QQ. If we couldn't stay over 444 or the high, like the close or the open of yesterday in this little area right here, it was going to come back down. Now look what you had. You have like a wide and loose day. You have a higher high and a lower low. That candle is fucking awesome if you understand how to watch it. Because when you have a higher high and a lower low, what you're typically going to see if I can find it for you guys on one of these. You know, you don't really see a lot of them. You go with it. If it can get over the highs, go up. If it goes below, it's going lower. Like, this candle is like a really wide and loose candle. Even though the volume's not huge, the price action says go with the direction that it fails. If it doesn't fail, it'll chop out. I've said that's very possible. It is option expiration for April. It could chop out. QQQ, man, people just, they love the Qs, and they're acting worse. I mean, I don't get it. I have the same conversation every day, and people are like, tech, and I'm like, tick tock, like, do not own this crap, because this is this move on steroids, motherfuckers. And excuse my language like Samuel L. Jackson, but this is a fucking steroided move. Higher interest rates are not good for tech. They can't buy back stock. They can't borrow cheap money to buy and invest in their company. Everything changes. Tech hates higher rates. And again, I've talked about this relentlessly. If the 20-month fails, adios, amigo. Now again, when will it fail? I mean, I think it's just a matter of time. I mean, years ending in 2. What do they say? The start of bear markets potentially, or the continuation of a bear market. It's a year ending in 2, 2022. And again, I don't know if the Feds can pump this son of a bitch up forever. However, I will tell you that I don't want to own this stuff long term. I absolutely don't. Like, left shoulder, head, lower right shoulder, dangerous. Absolutely fucking dangerous, because what happens at the start of a bear market? Someone might say this is a head and shoulders bottom. I mean, I could see that. But coming after this run, I mean, you got to be crazy to think like there's more upside potential. Like the risk is worth the reward up. I mean, now you could play up to scalp, but man, I am nervous about people who just can't see the trend changes. We've talked about the IWM. What have we said a million times? It leads the market. Peaked high in November, bottomed first in February. Now what is it doing? It's leading down. This thing looks like crap. And here's the monthly. Chop, chop, chop. Chop, 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 chop. What do we say? Straight line moves are typically what? Straight line moves are typically what? The beginning of the end. The beginning of the end of the down move. Like, that's too fast. That's too fast. Now, let me just draw this for you folks at home who are watching and going, well, where's the downside? Draw your fibs. Wow, they line up with major areas. Like, I would watch this 160s area. I would watch the 140s. Here comes the 200 month. I mean, I don't know. Worst case scenario for bulls is this is going to be a meltdown of epic proportion. Their best case scenario is this is going to be a choppy, sloppy pattern, and we might pop into earnings, but we need to get, I think we need to test range lows to confirm that. That's how I feel about it. I could be wrong. Let's get into gold because, man, everybody is absolutely bullish gold, and it is just not acting that great. The straight line move with the war stuff, again, I'm not going to say I sold at the high. I should have. I sold on the retest or covered calls, not really sold, but people should have been selling covered. We're popping up again. What is today's action? Another doji. This could be a bull trap, man. And I say, like, man, like, this is what happens. This thing gets choppy and sloppy, and then sometimes it goes nowhere. I am going to be bullish in June. I don't care where the price is at. I'm not going to get involved with this stuff. Silver, same thing. Over the 20-day, great. Nice gap. Doji. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-O. Sorry for the sounds, but here's another thing. The GDX. Hey, we're breaking out. Another higher high, but fail. Tomorrow or the next day, just watch. If we hit the 20-day and break below it, please, for the love of God, take your money on your miners and your metals. Because again, if gold's breaking out, the miners should be talking about. We talk about this, like GDXJ, the juniors. The junior miners should be ripping up. Just like the XOP has led oil. They have the most leverage. They should go up the most. Like, it's not rocket science. You don't have to be a rocket physician or what are the other jokes about it? Anyway, it's not acting that great. And people are like, well, it's consolidating. Typically, consolidation looks like this, like chopping up. I hate when they take metals up sideways at highs because they usually beat them down later. We'll see. I mean, go back in the time machine and study the past. As I've said, March and April are typically shitty for metals. Look at that. I mean, here we go. Back to normal year, 2019. Okay, 2018. Peaked April, March, June. Crap. Then a flop out. Like, they just went nowhere. April, May, June. Flop, crap, chop. Now people say, oh, it's a bull market. Now, all right, I'm not going to argue that. I think we are getting into a bull market. But even this April, May, I mean, it was just choppy and sloppy, and then it ripped higher. I have one of these things in my mind where you're going to notice this about me, and it's one of these things where it's really simple. I don't like the consensus. When everybody believes something is going to happen, I get this tingle in my brain that goes, someone's about to lose a lot of money. Everybody is. Because again, the market maker is meant to take money. It's like a casino. You know, you sit there, everybody's winning, and it's like, at some point this is going to change. I look at the metals, long-term, love them. I want to see consolidation. I want to shake weak hands. Shake out the weak hands, and I will absolutely buy this and not even think twice about it and give myself time. I apologize for the rants, but I think people just need to hear this. Like, I'm the biggest gold bull long-term, but I'm not bullish now. Why? The action is not confirming. I am worried of a liquidation break where everything gets liquidated. All the money runs into the bond market. That happens. Metals will get shit on. You can see AEM struggling with a 0.618. It's been acting pretty good, actually. I dig it. I honestly dig it. AG, here's a sign of something that is killing me. If silver and gold are going to go up, First Majestic needs to be at 15. It's not. Look at silver. Like, silver's nowhere near the high from March. It's churning at the old high from November. What is PAAS doing? Like, ask yourself the question. Like, shouldn't PAAS, AG, what is AG doing? Like, shouldn't AG be in the 15 range? Shouldn't it be up here? Shouldn't it? I don't know. That's for you to answer that question. Pass. Keep an eye on it. It's acting a little better, but it's one of those things where this thing got, is talked about the 100 month on this or week. It's kind of just a choppy, sloppy. I mean, this is the hardest part about the metals sometimes. If you feel like you have to be all in all the time, I'm just going to tell you, that's not a strategy that wins. The best strategy is to sell when it rips and buy the dips, because there's going to be always opportunities. Letter X said if the 20-day fails, this M becomes, oh my God, that M. Keep that in mind. Watch it. VALE. This was interesting because it popped today and it flopped. Again, the leaders aren't leading anymore, and trash is still trash. And when I say trash, tech is trash. If you don't think tech is trash, I don't know what you're looking at. CCJ, this thing again, like, I don't trust this action. This feels like a bull trap that's pulling people up. Now, again, I like uranium for the long term, but 18 to 30 coming into monthly resistance, I don't have a good feeling about this. This area is going to be a chop zone. Just keep that in mind. And if it's not, well, then guess what? I'm wrong, and I will be wrong. Mosaic, another action of actions that's really tough. Indecision, 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 but it keeps making new highs. That's what happens sometimes. And same thing at the lows. You get lows, lows, low, and indecision. All right, CF, double top potential. Keep that in mind. Oh, let me get in Newmont real quick because that now is on the daily roster. What do you see here? Oh, McDonald, how to farm, EIEIO. And that's an M. I mean, it's not an M until it's not. I'm going to put it in red so you can see very clearly. See what happens here. Let's get into our favorite names. Good old tech. Gosh, AMD bulls are some of the dumbest people out there. And again, not because of the stock, but they just don't know the pass of this thing. Like, when it dies, it dies. Semiconductors, when they become a commodity that's interchangeable, these companies have no pricing power. You're under the 20-month, the 70s, 80, like this area. I don't know what that is drawn, but let's take it down here. That's where it should be. This area becomes the first support. I'm short this stock at the 125 level. I don't know. I'm feeling like this might be something you just hold on to some shares no matter what. Trade around a position. Same thing with Apple. I mean, I'm very cognizant of how tech topped, and when it topped, it just went nowhere for years, and you could trade the trend, and the trend was down. Even though the markets bottomed and went higher, the trend was down. People could not wrap their head around that, but it is what it is. Apple, nice pop today, and then nowhere. This action in itself is consolidation. You can see pops before drops. I mean, one day doesn't make a trend. But honestly, I mean, I can't even remember the last time Apple actually had a significant beat down. I guess you could say here went from 140 down to 160. That's not even significant. These are like 20-25% pullbacks. I mean, post split, I mean, this maybe, here you go, here's a spring swoon. Check out the monthly. Again, I thought we'd get the channel high, but I mean, that move, and then that move, and that, I mean, the rubber band man is extremely tired, and this is probably the top. And if you don't believe me, I guess we will see who is right. Let's get into, where is it? MicroStrategy. Thank God it held the 100 or the 50-day. But look, it hit the 20-day, and it's a hammer. I mean, this is just tech. I don't know what to say. Leave it alone. Roadblocks. I like this coming because I think they're going to get bought out, but head and shoulders pattern. If this fails, you're going back to the 30s. I just don't even ask me about tech. Like, I'm going to say I'm bearish because the trend is the friend. Just like I don't really say short. I guess you can short metals for scalps, but I'm not like shorting aggressively metals because the trend is up. The trend is our friend. There are times we pull back. Tesla, lower high. Oh, God, this is so bad. This is now a trend. Lower highs, lower lows. Beware. Like, this stock could just get totally murdered. It went from 21 to 12. These are once in a lifetime moves, and you extend your stay too long, it's going to be painful. I don't know. Maybe it goes higher long term, but I think it's due for a major absolute kick in the balls before it goes. I mean, I like Elon. I'm not shorting it. Penn Gaming, March Madness turned into April sadness. That's all you can say. I don't even know why I'm watching it at this point and talk about it. It's below the trend, below the 50-month. Seems very clear this is probably going right back to where it started. I wouldn't say COVID lows, but 19, 20, always possible. I don't have a really good feel for it at this point in the sense of just leave her alone. UTHR. Talked about this holding the 50-day. This looks bullish to me. I mean, look at the stock compared to the market. This looks bullish. Gap down on its earnings, retest, making higher highs. Small biotech, maybe they're getting bought out. Mikey P, hopefully you still got all your shares and you are loving life. EXPI, this is interesting because, again, big volume at the lows on a pump piece. At the 50-month, I mean, I showed you guys, like, EXP is destroying everybody in real estate right now. How will that work out? I don't know. The stock could definitely not go as great as you want it to, but that is what it is. It just is what it is. Patience, I think it'll be rewarded. Might not, though. Have a stop. Let's end it on XOP because, man, and ExxonMobil, as we always do. Start on the monthly. Oh, Dan, why are you taking a short in it? Because I'm watching the daily? No, fucking no. No, because I'm looking at the bigger picture. We're at the IPO price, literally, from 2006, post-reverse split. We popped. Do the math. 28 to 140. That is a lot very quickly. Typically, you're going to get some pullbacks. This is like coming off the lows. So you typically get this. You might get this. I mean, this doesn't even really have a history. I mean, they pumped this out in 2006 as oil was starting to get like stupid expensive. I'm not a bear because I don't like oil. The formations up here are very bearish. Like you pop long wick, you pop up, gap down, close at the low of the day. Or a dragonfly doji or gravelstone or whatever the fuck one the doji it is. That looks ugly to me. And again, let's end it with ExxonMobil because we are buying drip. Keep in mind, this is why we keep telling people, watch the drip in the 21-22 level. Post split, keep in mind, the market maker's got a ton of this stuff. It is holding the 21-22. ExxonMobil, the leader of oil and gas. Not making a new high. Look at today's doji. Now, again, one day doesn't make a trend, but gap up, gap down, open, flat. This is all indecision. Like, all three of these days lead you to what? Nothing. You open and close around the same area. This is indecision, y'all. This is indecision. This is how you see it on the bigger charts because you can't see it sometimes on the daily and the weekly, monthly. Like, you just have to... You can see it on the month, definitely on the weekly, because the last 3 days. This is chop. I mean, again, nice up, consolidate. Chop, consolidate, boom. Nice up. I think it's due to consolidate. Hope this stuff helps. Again, if you were watching these videos this far, please hit the like button, drop a comment, tell me something, make fun of me, say whatever you want to say, or just say Bumblebee Tuna, because then I'll know you had a chance to watch it this far. I'll talk to you guys and gals later. Thanks for watching. For more trading knowledge and insight, click on the videos on the right, and also join the Discord room. Link is in the description below. If you have any questions, please stop on by the Discord room and let's chat. Thank you.